Hey guys, Bear from Vegas Airsoft. And over the last year, we've had an incredible journey across YouTube using AEG platforms, using gas blowback, and then in the last video, you saw me using my new HPA tap, but that was for the Saiga 12K. Now this, is my gas blowback rifle. This is from EMG, and I finally got the part missing in order to make this HPA. We're going to go over the pros, the cons, and the benefits of using all the different weapons platforms across the space and what they're designed best for and what it is that you're trying to achieve with Airsoft. All right, guys, so first up is the AEG platform. One of the things I love about these, no matter what it is you're using, what brand, what style of AEG you're using, is for the most part, they're pretty great straight out of the box. They've all got their different functions, they've all got their different modes straight from the factory. But with a little bit of YouTube time and a little bit of YouTube University ingenuity, you can figure out how to swap out the inner barrel, the bucking, the hop up, all these things that can make these AEGs really competitive. The next is the gas blowback rifle. This is relatively new to me. We picked this up, on Black Friday. I've gotten a few games in. This runs off of the actual gas magazine. One thing I like about gas blowback rifles is that there's a lot of real world application to these. These are what I would consider the most close thing to a training system that you can possibly get. The thing that I like is the actual bolt cycling. You actually have a recoil unit in there. It gives you guys some kind of felt recoil, and you kind of have to maintain some type of control over the platform in order for you to be accurate and consistent. One thing I'll say about the downside with gas blowback is no matter how much gas you put in the magazines, there's always going to be some type of variance as far as joules and FPS, just because you're not going to get a consistent release of green gas each time you pull the trigger. And what do I mean by consistent, release of gas with each trigger? For me, I love the realism of being able to cycle and work the rifle as if it's a real rifle. For me, getting the muscle memory in and being able to manipulate and reload and work the rifle, to me, that is what I consider the most rewarding part of this particular system. Now, poor man's HPA. There's a few components that kind of go into it. You have your tank, your regulator, your line, and then your tap. So this is all fairly new to me, guys. I'm not an extremely mechanical person, as you guys know, but from the last video, this was the setup that I was using with the Saiga 12K. All right, guys, so now that we have the HPA tap added to the gas blowback rifle, this is your standard mid-cap magazine. As you can see here, you've got a viewing window for you to be able to see that the magazine seats. Now, granted, this is the golden ball adapter, so I have had to really smack the crap out of it for it to seat, but look at how wonky that looks. I mean, granted, it's not the most pleasing on the eyes, but now I have an affixed line that will run to my backpack tank, and now I've got the capacity of an AEG, but I still have the felt recoil of the gas blowback rifle. All right, so now we're going to be testing out the gas blowback pistol, okay? And as you can see there, 314 at 1.14 joules. And then again, you have 308 at 1.10 joules. And then finally, for the last shot, you have 309 with 1.11 joules. Next, we're going to be moving on to the gas blowback rifle. Okay, so we're going to put the muzzle in there. Okay, 377 at 165, 366 at 156, 365 at 155, and 361.9 at 152 joules. All right, now moving on to the HPA setup. 387 at 174, 370, 365. All right, guys, so now we're outside. I've got my target set up at about 100 feet, 125 feet, thereabouts. We're gonna go through the gas blowback pistol, we'll go through the gas blowback rifle, and then we'll move on to the HPA setup so you guys can see. Again, I'm going to try and utilize my scope cam so you guys can see those shots at distance to be able to see the grouping. But for the most part, I just want you guys to be able to see some babies fly. All right, guys. So first up, the Combat Master. We're going to try and see just how far, if we can even reach out and touch that far. This has been a phenomenal pistol so far, and with gas blowbacks, for me, alright guys, moving on to the gas blowback rifle. This is the EMG Daniel Defense Mark 18. Again, just your standard gas blowback rifle. We're going to be utilizing just a standard gas blowback mag, and now we're going to try and put some rounds on target for you. Alright guys, and now finally onto the HPA tapped. So again, just take your adapter, stick her in, rack the bolt back, and get to work. And there you have it guys, HPA, gas blowback. Again, no AEG, but you can see how much we've accomplished thus far throughout the year. Alrighty guys, so breaking it down, the HPA tap for me is going to be the most ideal kind of future movement for me. Operation Benghazi is one of the EVIC events that are coming up, as well as BFLA and Summer on Premier Paintball. They have some pretty good engagement distances as well, so I think I'm going to really try and put this little HPA tap to its through its paces to be able to see how I enjoy it, and if I want to commit to a full HPA build. So again guys, through the year, like I said, we've tried so many different platforms, we've tried so many different styles of airsoft replicas, and you know, I'm just really excited to keep growing with you guys, keep figuring out what works best for me and what puts me closest to my niche or my little kind of way of enjoying things. So this is Bear.